what I'm saying, at any time, like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, oh yeah, 3:30, yeah, or 3:30, quarter to 4, 4 o'clock.
I mean, before then.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday or something.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be fine.
Let me just double check.
I guess what we really, I mean, basically for the.
I think we got a lot of questions, and
Yeah.
I just don't want to prolong everything here.
Well, that's fine.
Monday or Tuesday after the meeting, one.
What's their schedule?
23rd, 24th.
Okay. How about that with you guys, 23rd,
We'll
24th?
make it work, good.
23rd.
Yeah.
Monday.
Monday the
Monday,
23rd.
23rd, 4 o'clock. John? 3:45, something like that?
That's good.
Thank you.
I guess basically, I mean, we don't wanna keep the public in
In the dark.
check
we
here
don't-
either.
We'd like to know.
Basically, all we're looking to find out is, I mean, when we decided on this project, we decided to do a 1.5 million gallon tank and renovate the 500,000 gallon tank. Since that time, we found cracks in the 500,000 gallon tank, and we just wanna know whether it's feasible to save this tank or to demolish it and just go with the 1.5 million.
Then we have other problems to deal with if we do that.
Right.
So,
Right, so I mean, that, we wanna weigh,
I think we gotta do what,
if the cracks are major or if they're minor, then we can, if they're minor, we can still go along with what we're doing. If they're major, then we need to decide something different. That's,
Okay, can you guys live with that?
You advertise that?
Yeah,
Bill?
I'd like to mention, we'll have the special meeting, we have time to get it in the newspaper, that we have the meeting here held in the hall, and we'll publish it, so anyone wishing to attend, they can hear the whole story.
That's good.
Good.
so we'll be here on Monday at 4 o'clock.
Any other things, John?
Two other quick items. The scheduled raising of the new tank is still, as far as we know, somewhere around the 26th of July. It's supposed to begin.
July or
June.
June?
Just June, excuse me.
We're at our kid up here.
Sorry. Last item is, on the water project is, we'd like to schedule a contract signing and pre-construction of contract number 2 of the transmission main for Wednesday, if that's possible, with the name.
That's, Bill, I don't have to sign that, Bill does. It says there,
Pardon me?
is this the contract number 2?
Yeah.
Well, I got it right here in my hand, and it says, doesn't say anything for my signature here, John. I said to Bill, good, you can sign this one, put the seal on it.
Is that the advertisement, George, or the contract? Typically, the contract is signed by the chief executive
Well, I know that,
officer.
that's the way it says.
It's a resolution.
Acceptance award, it says, signed by Luck Brothers, signed by, or maybe this is your acceptance.
I believe that's.
Wednesday, it's fine. I was looking at this today, and I said, I don't have the old.
I believe that's maybe just the notice to the contract.
Could be.
John, you said the raising of the tank is scheduled for evening, night, something like that?
Yeah, what they've kind of told us is that it has to be either very first thing in the morning or very late in the evening, so that there is less wind. Obviously, when you're raising it, then you can't do it in a windy day.
Oh, let's see it blow over.
No.
No, we don't necessarily need that. However, they have erected hundreds of them, and none have blown over, so.
You ready time, John, on Wednesday?
Do you have any particular time, George?
What, Wednesday?
Yes.
You pick your time.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, that's it? You should have a request for permission from Mike Rowley and Gary Malinsky to travel to Lake Placid for a training seminar on water plants. And I request approval for them to do that. And put that in form of motion.
I'll second it. Motion made by John Huckrow, second by Brian Jefferson. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Two more quick items, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to acknowledge the beautification committee. The ladies, and I think Dick Baker helped the ladies with some of the planting this spring. They've done a fantastic job in getting the roads ready for the summer. Brian, who put the baskets up? Michael Bryan's group. Civic Center guys put the baskets along the trees, and the water plant has been taking care of maintaining them, and it's really looking good. Really looking good. Most people do this for thanks, and they can be proud of their work. I was going to ask permission to establish a steering committee for the downtown revitalization project, but I'm told I do not have to request permission, but simply to announce to you that we will be establishing a committee. I do not have the names of all of the volunteers at this point because one of the people didn't get back to me. However, from the still informal planning committee, we have Melissa McManus and Lisa Maskell who will serve, and a combination of beautification committee and historical society. We have Dick Baker, Nancy Baker, and Mary Rasco, and there will be one other person, and Phil and I will also serve on that steering committee. Basically, that's going to be to decide what we want to do downtown, and we certainly would be interested in any information anybody in the village has in helping us plan that. We do have the $60,000 grant in hand, but that $60,000 is just going to pay for the planning. So it's going to be costly, but again, we've paid our share already. We've paid more than our share, just in things that we have done. And Phil, did you want to give us a very brief update as to why and how we must establish executive sessions of the board? I know there are questions among people as to why we must do this, but the law does say we have to. And if you could take just a minute.
Yeah, we receive calls from time to time asking why the board enters executive session, so just everyone knows. We'll read, this is coming from the NICOM handbook for village officials regarding meeting procedures. It says the following constitutes a complete list of the areas for which a public body may enter executive session. A, matters which will imperil public safety if disclosed. B, matters which may disclose the identity of a law enforcement agent or informer. C, information regarding current or future investigations or prosecutions of a criminal offense which would imperil effective law enforcement if disclosed. Discussion of proposed or pending or current litigation. Collective negotiations subject pursuant to the Taylor Law. The medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation, or the preparation, grading, or administering of examinations, which covers a wide spectrum, and that's the reason for executive sessions, to maintain that confidentiality.
Thank you, sir.
And I think we have one more item, Trustee Huckrow, regarding the waiver of the open container law for the 4th of July.
Yes, we didn't even write that down. I'm going to request that we waive the open container law for the period 5 o'clock Friday, July 4th through 11 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, July 6th.
You just did.
I did.
I'll second that.
Motion made by John Huckrow, seconded by Brian Jefferson. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Phil. If we didn't do that,
Yeah.
we couldn't do that. So, that's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Huckrow. Trustee Penfield.
The first item that I have this evening is to request an executive session to discuss library personnel.
1 second.
Motion made by Trustee Penfield, seconded by Trustee Menard. Roll call vote, trustee Menard,
Aye.
trustee Huckrow.
Aye.
Trustee Penfield,
Aye.
trustee Jefferson.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye.
And the second item that I have this evening, I believe you all have copies of local law number 3 of the year 2003 regarding changes to the zoning code for the village. And I know the agenda said that we were going to try to have a public hearing at the next meeting on July 7th, but I would like to hold on to this for the time being until next month. When I read the local law that came from Mr. Murnane and the amount of time that he was working on it, several things have come up. In fact, since the 1st of May, we've had 3 different meetings by the Zoning Board of Appeals to address issues that are not contained in here. And I really don't see any reason to go ahead and put this through without having a real complete picture of the changes that need to be made in the zoning code, because 2 of the 3 of them were very important and really need to be included. And the other thing I would mention, the list of changes that Mr. Murnane was working from are not really up to date with our new code enforcement officer. And I know that Mr. Tatro has not had necessarily a tremendous amount of input into what is contained here, and I would also like to run this by him as well before we go ahead and have a public hearing on it. So if you don't mind, I'd like to table this until the next meeting, and then maybe we can schedule the public hearing for the following meeting in July.
If you're lucky enough to get the changes from the name.
Well, we can try.
Yeah.
We can try. So I just don't see any point in doing this piecemeal. I think that,
I agree.
Yep.
you know, the zoning board members have put together a good list, and they're working again now with our new code enforcement officer, and I think we should do it all at once. So, and that is all I have.
Thank you, trustee Penfield. Trustee Jefferson.
Doug, would you like to speak on the sewer? I don't think we have that much to report today on sewer. Really, all the excitement was on Maple Street earlier. And John, is there any new development?
Any word from OGS, John?
Not so much OGS, George, it's DEC. Basically, I've been trying to tie that fella down that was gonna give us that answer 3 weeks ago Monday. Not getting too far, so consequently, on Wednesday, we're gonna have to get you to send some reports off to our representatives at the state government level. See if we can build fire under them that way.
Gotta do something here. That's a little ridiculous.
Much more than ridiculous, George.
I mean, you have spent
It's bad enough being
not only
shot.
hours, but weeks with these, trying to get this damn
Bad
thing.
enough being shot as the messenger, but when you have to get shot every 2 weeks, it's ridiculous.
Okay,
Okay, I just have a couple
we'll
of
take
things.
that from there.
Okay, we've had a large number of acts of vandalism in the village within the last month. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but a large number of cars had their tires slashed.
That's,
Yeah, including my daughter's, but that was one of about 15 people. I just want to acknowledge the top-notch job that Chief Craig and his staff has done for the village residents. 3 young children under 18 have been questioned and they've been charged with felony charges. Sergeant Laundrie and Officer LaFave conducted a thorough investigation, and they even traveled to Malone to take a statement from one of the people that was involved. And it looks like we're gonna go to court, and we might get money, we might not, so I just wanna mention that. And I just wanna mention one thing about the loss of our pharmacy here in the village. Seems like every time we take one step forward, we got one step taken away from us. I think pharmacy is almost important as a grocery store, and our senior citizens and residents need a pharmacy in Rouses Point. So I talked to Dick Baker today, and I talked to Nancy Baker, and I'd like to go back to the same search committee. I'd like to set up a search committee to immediately begin looking for a pharmacy to replace Harrison's. We have all the facts and figures from the grocery store committee. So it's good for Harrison's that they got a buyout, but it's really bad for the village that we've lost our pharmacy. So if you have any ideas or you're willing to help, please see me or call me at home. And basically what we're looking for is we're looking for a chain store that's willing to come to Rouses Point as soon as possible. And that's all I have to report tonight.
thank you, trustee Jefferson. I have one thing left off the agenda. I will request permission for head line worker or head of the line department and myself to attend the Northern Regional meeting of the Municipal Electric in Copper Lake on July 10th. Cost of $45 each.
Got a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Anybody else want to go before we go into the discussion? Anybody else want to go?
What's the topic?
There's a presentation by Kurt Wilson, our engineer. There's only one thing being done. It doesn't say. Presentation by Kurt Wilson from 10 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. And then they
What
got,
that topic is before that time?
no,
Can you
probably
find
not.
out?
We can, but then there's a tour of the OWD facilities. I don't know what that is.
You know, make dishes and stuff in it.
Whatever.
No, I don't think
I'll go.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, good. 3, amended. Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Get with Carol, is Carol coming in the morning? Get with Carol, tell her what you want for an entree, for the dinner, and they'll send it in. And Phil, anything?
No, sir.
Arsen?
Just that we're still collecting taxes to July 1st, but okay.
Then you get the extra money.
Pardon?
You get the extra money after July 1st.
I don't get it.
Okay. Brian? John or Doug?
All set?
Dale? Open the meeting to the public at this time. Anybody wishing to address the board at this time may do so. There being nobody, I will ask for a motion for recess.
so. Got it.
Second.
Trustee Huckrow, trustee Menard, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Those opposed? We're in recess, 5 minutes.
Wow.